We're talking hurricane RV preparedness today. Yes, and I'm going to be frank with you. When hurricane season comes, I get a little nervous. I don't like storms. Lily doesn't like storms. Nobody really likes storms. And when a hurricane comes, you know, you have the wind, the rain, lots of rain, and tornadoes, hail. Please, please, pay attention. Let's talk preparedness. I've made a list of things that we've done in the past. Make sure you know what your evacuation route will be. Years ago, when a hurricane hit, our friends, I believe it was Hugo, our friends left and went I-10 going west, of course. And we waited until the last minute. I was getting a little nervous because at noon it was as black as night out there. And we heard on the radio and the TV and whatnot that I-10 west was backed up. You couldn't go anywhere. It was just stalled out. We're going to go south. We're going to go to his parents' house in Lakeland, Florida. So we did. And the thing of it was, there was no traffic. None. Everybody had already evacuated. And we're like, oh my gosh, this is like a ghost town. So we get down there and we stay down there until they say it's okay for us to come back. Because it actually went up to the Carolinas. We're driving back up and there's nobody. Jacksonville is like a ghost town. So we're like, wow, this is crazy. And for about 3 days, no one was back in our little town up here in St. Mary's. It was crazy. Be prepared to figure out which way you're going to go and leave. Leave before the evacuation notice. If you live in a sticks and bricks and you have an RV or you're vacationing here in an RV, watch the weather. Be prepared to leave if there is a hurricane, especially if it's coming up, because we get a lot of hurricanes that come up from the Gulf and come across the state, and those are wicked. We don't stay because we don't like the wind or the rain, and if we think it's gonna come close to us, we leave before any evacuation notice is even thought about. Make sure when you get to where you're going, because you may come back and there may not be your house, your town, no Walmart, no bank. So while you're away in your RV, which will become your home if your home is destroyed, make sure you dump your tanks and fill up your water. I do all the laundry. I strip my bed. I put clean sheets on the bed. You don't know how far you're going to have to go before you find another laundromat. Having the sheets clean will give you at least a week. And if you have 2 sets of sheets, which we do, that gives you 2 weeks. And normally, when you have to leave, you don't know when you're going to be able to come back. So having this stuff done helps in the long run. You may not have water when you come back to do any laundry. The laundry facilities may be down. So that's why I do all the laundry, everything. That way, at least you have a chance for a somewhat of a decent life if you're coming back to this area. If you're in an RV park and that RV park that you were staying in, living here full time, you may not be able to get back in there. So have a plan B. I mean, we're at our son's house during this hurricane season. So, I mean, it could get wiped out. and we'd have to go somewhere else. You've got to plan. Plan, plan, plan. So make sure you wash your clothes again before you get back here. And when you go to leave, please, please do not leave your pets. That Hurricane Katrina, and they're saving all those little dogs and cats and, oh my gosh, even a couple birds. Please don't leave them. And while you're over there in your evacuation area, that's far, far from the hurricane, stock up your first aid kit, because you may need it for yourself or someone if you come back into the area. Your house may be saved, but somebody else's may not. Be careful coming back, because streets are going to be flooded. There's going to be downed trees. Live wires are going to be falling down everywhere. So please don't come back until they tell you you can. Make sure you have charcoal and lighter, because you may be grilling out a lot. Especially if you don't have a house. Don't panic. Do not panic. When there is a hurricane warning, you will have plenty of time. Don't wait, though, until they give the evacuation order. You go ahead and leave if you think it's going to be anywhere close to where you're going to be at. Think about it. When Hurricane Michael hit, it hit Mexico Beach in Florida, in the Gulf, came all the way up to I-10. Yes. That's 80 miles, people. That's a lot of miles of heavy wind, rain, tornadoes. Oh my gosh. Trees becoming missiles. I mean, think about it. A 2x4 can go through the wall of a house at 150 miles an hour. That's scary. That's really scary. While you're at Walmart, make sure you stock up on food, because you never know how long you're going to be without power. There are people still over in Mexico Beach that don't have a house anymore. They don't have anything. Everything was destroyed in that town. So I want you to be prepared. You may not have that Walmart when you come back. Let's see. Okay. And our next and final advice. Please, please do not stay in an RV in the area where the hurricane is going to hit. 95% of the time, you will not survive. Will not survive. Storm surge, wind, trees becoming missiles. I mean, people just don't understand how dangerous a hurricane can be. And when your house is only 200 square feet, there's not a whole lot of room for you to go. There's not a middle bathroom that's going to save you from a tree becoming a missile and coming right through your RV. I'm not trying to scare anyone. I just want y'all to realize that hurricanes are nothing to mess with. Especially when it becomes... Hurricane 1 is not too bad. That's 75 miles an hour. Hurricane 2 is around 100 to 120 miles an hour. 3, 120 to 150 miles an hour. And we don't even want to talk about a 4 or a 5. You just don't even want to be here. So, prepare yourself. Watch the weather. Last year, they had, I think they had 7 major hurricanes predicted. We had 1 major one. And it hit a little bitty town and wiped it completely out. I just want you to be watchful. Enjoy your summer. Have that good vacation. Okay? Enjoy. Don't get sunburnt. And just be prepared. We fill up our gas tanks We never have it below 3/4 of a tank. We make sure we have some extra money put away. So, another thing that you need to think about when a hurricane is coming, or way before a hurricane hits, actually.
Part of our people ask us, so since we're back in Florida, in the southeast, we're right north of Jacksonville, our son's house. It's kind of our home base for right now. Today, I'm gonna check my spare tire. You should always check your spare at least once a year. I recommend twice to make sure it's aired up and make sure it's in good condition. Because when we leave here we've left here on hurricanes and stuff before with bad weather, tropical systems coming in. You see tons and tons of people just, I mean, one time I think I counted 10 people within 100 miles of here broke down on the side of the road. Blown tires, trailer tires out, trying to go somewhere in their RVs, have their junk on their trailer, in the back of their trucks, and they forgot to check their spare. So that's what we're doing today. That's one of the tips I wanted to give y'all. Check your spare. And there you go.
Make sure it's aired up, right?
Make sure it's aired up. Make sure it's not dry rotted.
Ooh, yeah.
And make sure if it's probably an old tire, you might want to get a newer one.
For your documents, make sure they're in watertight containers. We have a safe that is fireproof and waterproof, so we have all of our important paperwork in there. If you're in a sticks and bricks and you're going to leave in your RV, which may be your home when you come back, make sure that you take photos of every piece of furniture and important thing in your house. And if there's more than one of you, both of you take photos of what's in there. You may lose a phone. You just don't know what will happen during a hurricane. Just prepare yourself so that you're just ready. Readiness, preparedness is what it's all about when it comes to hurricane season. Have a good night. All right.